the little manipulation, I was like, oh my God, this was like magic. And immediately I was like, this is what I want to produce. So 1995, first time to Holland. Get to go to The Hague with Gizmo for a month. All you guys with the eyes. Next time, you catch the guy when he's flying.
Welcome to part 8 of RaveClassic. This time we're doing the interview in English. If you want to choose your own language, push the button in the corner of your screen. And what can I say about this artist? He is a very skillful DJ and producer since the early 90s. He had a lot of collaborations with many artists from all over the world. From New Jersey, USA, DJ Delirium.
I was born in New Jersey. I said it before, but I guess nobody heard me.
When did your love for music begin?
I think before I was even born. My parents were hippies and they were into music, always loud rock and roll in the 70s. So as I was younger, I knew all this music like Fleetwood Mac and Led Zeppelin, and I was a music lover instantly. From rock and roll to disco to all the different things I would hear. I'd always have my favorite songs, and I was like instantly attracted to music from an early age.
What kind of music did you listen as a teenager?
I was all over the place. There would be some rock and roll, like Ozzy Osbourne, but then there would be like the breakdancing music would start. So the early electro sound of the breakdancing music, amazing. The disco records were also amazing. So I was open-minded with music early. It wasn't like one sound that I stuck to. I was really open to different things. So it could have been some funk or just something with a nice beat and good energy and a good atmosphere. I would really be attracted to different stuff. But synthesizers always stood out over guitars. There was something about synths. And then the electro drums, you would hear the difference, the frequency, and it was a little more powerful. The electronic stuff was starting to get heavier, and I got into breakdancing. That was like before I even DJ'd, I thought I was a little breaker. So I'd practice like doing different moves, backspins, and you know, just exploring music on a different side at first. And I met this guy. He told me he had a friend that could scratch. And he took me to this DJ's house. I remember seeing him put on the record. And the first time, wick, 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 I was like, whoa! I was like, this is insane. This guy, he wasn't like an advanced scratcher, but just the concept of fader and vinyl, the little manipulation, I was like, oh my God, this was like magic. When I first saw it and heard it, I'm like, it's like talking. It's like a language. And the guy would do little moves, and I was like, man, I instantly want to learn how to scratch. I didn't even care about mixing. I want to learn how to scratch. Like, I was like, that was like everything. I thought that was the coolest thing. So I'm buying up records and, you know, slowly getting a little record collection together. But I had these really terrible turntables, and they had a belt drive. You couldn't scratch with these things. You would put your hand on them and the needle would go flying. You'd try to put a coin on them. This was like terrible. It wasn't happening. So I'd get a little job and I'd have to save, and it took a few years till I had like Technique 1200s. But by the time I was 16, I had Techniques. And then I would practice. Then I would really, really practice a lot. I had a better record collection then. I couldn't spin out anywhere. I'm 16 years old, you know. Nobody's going to book me. Nobody knows who I am, but the passion was growing. The collection was growing. The skills were growing. And then the music was changing a bit. You'd have like this kind of clubhouse music coming out. And then house music. And now techno. Like, it would keep changing and keep evolving. And I would keep changing and keep evolving. And the collection would be switching a bit. But when techno started, like House of God, and Energy Flash, and all the early techno hits, I was hooked. This was the sound. Like the 90s now was, this was the new thing. And all the labels were from Europe. And the records were hard to find. You had to drive to like Brooklyn, and you had to really, like, it wasn't easy coming across these records. But I would go to Frankie Bone's shop, and he would have all these 𝗏𝗏, you know, Energy Flash. You'd make these trips, and you'd get like 5 or 6 amazing records. But I didn't find hardcore yet. I didn't find something that like grabbed me even more. So it's probably around 92. We used to go to the Limelight, and we would listen to Jeff Mills play. And he would play techno, and at the end of his set he would say, I want to try some new stuff. I got this music from Holland. I want to see how you guys think of this. And he plays 𝗷𝗲𝗆 and the place goes insane. I never seen anything like this. I remember being with Rob G, and we were like, wow, this is insane. Like the energy, the sound was like faster, harder. It was like, what is this? And immediately I was like, this is what I want to produce. I want to find records like this. Like this was like the new thing, but different than anything I ever heard. The most energy, the most like hyped up like crowds, and like, wow, that music embraced me from day one.
When did you first get the idea to start making music yourself?
I probably started around 1990 as a hobby. I had just a drum machine in the beginning, an SP1200, and I would try different stuff. I would try hip-hop beats. I would try like electro beats. It wasn't the time of hardcore yet, so the tempos were much slower. I was doing stuff as low as 80 BPM to maybe like 126 BPM. But I was learning how to sequence, learning how the machine operated. I was already DJing and building up the record collection, so I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know how to do it yet. So, you know, I learned more about programming, chopping up break beats and sampling. And in 1991, I had one techno release under the name Analog Dreams. It was on a compilation in New York. It was called Adrenaline Techno Rush. And I had one track called The Carnival. It was like 90s techno. It had like a serious part and like a funny part. It was for my first track, to be honest, if I look back at it, it's still pretty cool. I mean, I would play it for you and you would think, wow, much better than I would expect for a song from 30 years ago. So the first release gave me a confidence that I knew I could find other labels and do releases. So I had another track I was working on, and I pitched it to 𝗁𝗍𝗿𝗆, asked if maybe he would collaborate with me, and he said yes. We worked in Brooklyn at one of his studios, and we did a breakbeat track that was released in the UK on Reinforced Records. This was probably 1992. That was my second release, but that was under the name Delirium. But none of my hardcore following really knows this. It was before I was involved in hardcore music. It was more just the rave scene. But at that point was the moment that hardcore was starting to begin. Industrial Strength releases this Masculum United from Mark. They're starting to play hardcore in New York clubs. I get the hardcore bug. Does more than bite me. It like takes me over. And I'm hooked on hardcore music. And I just start producing as much as possible. Numerous hours on my drum machine relentlessly. And I did 12 tracks. And I started sending the demo around. Most of the labels weren't that interested in hardcore in New York or America. But I linked up with Lenny D. And the tracks were under the name Mind Candy. We had volume 1, 2, and 3. And there was a total of 12 tracks. But 10 of them didn't really get too noticed at that point. And 2 of them were licensed. One was on a Carl Cox compilation from Kickin' Records. And the other one got licensed to Thunderdome 3. So it's like 1993 at that point. Lenny's so excited. He's like, man, we got the best license we could get. I don't even know about Thunderdome. I don't know how big the scene is. I don't know about Europe yet. I'm just happy to have a license or my music on a CD now. I only had vinyls. So the track comes out, and at that point, I wasn't playing out that often. I wasn't really that known. Just in my little local circle, small, maybe very tiny New Jersey and New York events. But after the releases, I was able to then play at some bigger clubs like Limelight and the Tunnel. And I'd get like maybe $100, if that, maybe $50. But it was my first opportunity to start to play out. And I remember playing my own record out. And I was like, wow. I'm like putting on my own record. Like, it was such an accomplishment. And like seeing the reaction, it would just give me such an addiction to keep creating and keep producing and keep spinning. I mean, the feeling of, the crowd loving your music is better than drugs. It's unbelievable. Ongelooflijk.
So how did you get involved in the Dutch hardcore scene?
I remember it was about mid-1994. And they booked Gizmo and BuzzFuzz. And I get a call from Rob G. And he says, man, these guys are going to come to town for a week. And we're going to do a track, the 4 of us. We're going to record in your studio, if it's okay. And he said, listen, I don't know if you can arrange this. He says, 𝗲𝗲𝗆's going to stay with me. Can you have Gizmo stay at your place? Now, I have the smallest apartment in New Jersey on top of this dentist office. I have a 1-bedroom that is completely...
Thanks. Great.
1-bedroom apartment. The whole bedroom. Turntables, equipment, records. There is no bedroom. It's like a studio music room. So I have this tiny other living room that's like also very small. It's like a shoebox, we would call it. The smallest possible apartment. But it sounds like one hell of a time. So I have Gizmo for the week. And these guys come over. The track is Let's Get Whoppy. It was called Hardcore Mental Associates because the dentist's office that I live on top of was called the Richfield Dental Associates. So my Whoppy buddies and I have this name, Hardcore Mental Associates. Let's Get Whoppy. 1994 on Hard Stuff Records. So during the week, I got to hang out with Gizmo a lot, and he was such a great DJ. With vinyl, this guy was on the next level. Like, I thought I was like really, really good. And I meet this guy who's on a whole nother level. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I wonder in Holland if these guys are on this level like this. Because 𝗲𝗏 was no joke. I meet this guy and I'm like, wow. This guy was so technical at playing. It was amazing. So I get to show him during the week, like, hey man, look what I could do. Show him some of my technique and the scratching. And this guy was so nice. He says, man, I could invite you to Holland and I will let you stay with me for 1 month. I take you under my wing. I get you some bookings. He said, you're going to pay your own flight, but I'm going to get you bookings to get your flight back, food money. You'll survive. Don't worry about it. He says, I bring you under my wing. We're going to make an EP at my studio. Okay. So 1995, first time to Holland. Get to go to The Hague with Gizmo for a month. I never even left the country. Now I'm going away for a month to Holland. I have no idea what comes next. I remember when I first came out, he met me at the airport. He took me to Amsterdam. He showed me around a bit. Coffee shop right away. Dutch snacks and showed me the city a bit. But we went back to his studio. And I never seen this much gear in my life. This guy had... It's like this. It's like... Oh my God. Every machine, every effect, every piece of hardware... The producer's dream. I mean, any sound, any effect, it was unbelievable. And for me, 𝗲𝗏 was also more advanced in production. At this time, he was making records like the end of the beginning. And these records that were like on a way higher production caliber than some other records. So I was getting like to learn from, you know, like Yoda, like a master DJ and producer. So we did a record together, Gizmo and Delirium, On a Mission Volume 1. It was with combined forces. I remember it comes out, they spell my name wrong. It's like Gizmo and Delirium, but with the E's. And I'm like, oh no. Like, Well, too late, covers out, record's pressed. But we had 3 tracks together. And one of the tracks, Do You Want to Dance, was getting played a lot. So I started to have like these moments when I would be on a show now and I'm hearing my records by a lot of DJs. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, he played a song, he played a song, he played a song. 𝗲𝗄's bringing me to these events. And at the time, we have these turntables that are going +8. And the first person I ever seen do this, I mean, I couldn't believe it. When it was time for 𝗲𝗄 to go on, if it was a +8 turntable, he's taking out a screwdriver and he's taking the platter off and he sets the turntable to +16 so he could do more. And the mixing is a little more difficult, but he could mix other tracks. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I never seen anything like this. It was a night in Germany. It was like 5,000 people. It's his time to play. And he's like, no, wait. He fixes the turntables. I'm like, oh my God. He takes the extra time to set them up the way he wants them and rip this place down. I mean, as much as I'm an artist, I'm also a fan. I love this shit. I live for this shit. I eat, sleep, and breathe music. I mean, I could be on the other side and I could be watching them. For instance, I'll give you a story about how my logo was born. I would be in the crowd or in the stands, and then I watch 𝗲𝗄. And they used to have these old mixers, 𝗲𝗃 and 𝗵𝗿𝗃, with no crossfaders. You have up and down faders only. And it's like a mixing board. The length of it is like wham. It's like a couple extra inches. You have to make these like really long strides with these faders. So I'm in the stands and I see 𝗲𝗄. I'm like, he looks like a praying mantis. He's like, I was like, this is nuts. I'm like, do I look like this when I play? I'm like, is this what the people see? This movement and this energy? I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is amazing. I think it's like this praying mantis. I say, man, I want a logo of a praying mantis with Nikes. I say, man, how is this going to be possible? So at this time was now around 95, 96. I'm starting to work with ID&T. They introduced me to Victor Feenstra, who's doing airbrushing. Good friend Eric Kyer, he hooks this whole thing up. He says, man, he's got a great idea. He says, let him explain. The guy sees this idea already. He makes this airbrushing. He puts it in the digital format and makes it a little sharper. And this logo was born. And I was like, wow. I mean, I couldn't have something cooler to represent me and my vision of seeing other praying mantis out there. I mean, I love technical DJs. There's nothing wrong with guys that just mix. But I love people that put a little more in and do some more, maybe scratching, tricks. I don't know. Special tracks, unknown productions, I don't know. Just put in a little bit more. Filled with tricks and surprises.
In '96 you were responsible for Praying Mantis Productions. Can you tell us a little bit more about the label?
When I was first introduced to the guys from ID&T, they were familiar with the releases from Combined Forces. So I did some records with Gizmo, and I also worked on a smaller label in Rotterdam called Basic Beat. I had another alias called the Garbage Man. The Garbage Man was very similar to my Mind Candy tracks. They were more like Amiga style, like 8-bit, crunchier. It was far from mainstream. Maybe we would call them industrial, experimental. It was kind of a different sound. But now, with the ID&T point, it was like there was this style starting that was like real party tracks. So I loved the hard kicks, but I loved some of the happy sounds and the really happy melodies. So I'm trying to develop this sound. It's like a New Jersey guy who wants to make the hard Dutch kicks, but also have the party vibe of maybe like a Scott Brown sound, maybe like some mix, party and hard with energy, with the break beats and maybe scratching, and make my own little kind of stomp-pot. So I'm thinking of my ingredients, and I start writing these tracks left and right. I was born hardcore. I make Drop the Beat with Omar Santana in New Jersey. This one was a great collaboration. This one we worked very hard on. I make in New Jersey also The Way That We Rock with Guitar Rob. I was in Holland a bit. I did Immortality with BuzzFuzz. I did The Sound of the Beast at home myself. I made a few tracks with Dove, The Prophet, We Love to Party, Feel So Real, the boom and bass. I start developing this sound, and I start releasing left and right. And these guys at ID&T were loving it. Thunderdome after Thunderdome after Thunderdome. It was to the point they were like, hey, we want you as exclusive artist. And at this point, we will give you your own label. You can have a Praying Mantis label as your outlet for you, artists you believe in, upcoming productions. So I was working on all their labels, 𝗷̀cie Records, my own label, their compilation CDs. I was working with Wax Weasel. I did several releases with him. He also had the sound of that moment, the real party vibe. He was another one who had that sound.
The stage dive incident on Thunderdome '96. What happened?
Well, this was my first major event. I never played to a crowd this big. So I remember from the moment, I think before me was Lady Donna. So before I even had to go on, I took a little sneak peek, and I went up and I look out, and I was like, oh man, I was like nervous. My stomach, I was like, what? I never played to any crowd like this. You could take the biggest crowd I played, and this was 10 times bigger.
Do you know DJ Delirium?
So I'm a little nervous. It's time for my first major Thunderdome. I could remember like yesterday, April 20, 1996, Leia Warden. I'm going to put on a record. I'm shaking. I'm going to put my first record on. I'm like, oh my God. I put on this record. I'm a nervous wreck. My legs are shaking. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope this stops. I got work to do. I got to play. I'm like, this is not comfortable. I put on a song. I'm getting ready. I'm trying to get in the zone. I remember I did a little scratch and it skipped. And I was like, oh no. I'm like, no, it's skipping. I'm like, relax, bro. I remember grabbing the mic.
Oh yeah, Leia Warden! Let me hear you guys make some fucking noise! DJ Delirium representing New York City! Come on! Let me see you put your fucking hands in the air!
I start yelling, and I don't know what happened, but the nerves went away. And I clicked, and it was time. I start playing my set. I played a rest, say 55 minutes was great. I had no issues. I have a great set. I'm not nervous. And I have this high, the crowd, the energy. I'm feeling like Superman. And I decide I want to stage dive. So I come down in the front and I tell the stage manager, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 at the time, I say, hey man, I'm diving. He says, buddy, no way. I do not recommend it. Don't do it. He says, you're going to get hurt. I say, man, look how many people. Where are they going to go? They're going to catch me. I don't weigh so much. I'm not heavy. At the time, I probably weighed like 60 kilos or something. I'm not a heavy guy. I'm a small guy. I say, no, they're going to catch me. He says, don't do it. I say, I'm going. And I go back to the corner. I run as fast as I can. Wham! I think I'm like, I don't know how high. I don't know. Maybe 5 meters or something. I'm flying up. And I see these people. They're high as kites on pills. All of them with the big whoppy eyes. Oh, you really jumped? Oh. They're like, they're not catching me. They're looking at me. Hands down. I'm on the way down. And they all start moving. And I'm like, no. So I'm coming down. And I think maybe I could land somehow. So I put my hands down. And then bam. Elbow, rib, head. And I hit the ground. And I'm so embarrassed. I don't feel any pain. It's the most embarrassing moment. I get up. And I walk to the side. And I'm like, wow, what the fuck just happened? I said, holy shit, that was a bad idea. So I touch my head, and I'm bleeding. And I'm like, oh, man. Now my friends are coming from the side. Oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I don't know. They take me to the backstage in the 𝗏𝗃 Expo Center. They have an EMS. They have a table. They have people there to help. They bring me to the back. And there's all these kids that took too much drugs. They're in the back like this. Delirium! Delirium! I'm like, what the hell is this? They're like, yeah, we're watching them. They're okay. Come with us. And they put me on a cold table. And my ribs, oh man. I was like, I can't tell you the pain. I thought I had broken ribs. Oh, I'm like, I just have the best party of my life. And now I'm in the back holding myself. So they tell me I'm going to be okay. They say I might have to go to the hospital, but they're not sure. But they don't think anything's broken. Okay. I go back into Thunderdome, and people are like, hey, Delirium. Hey, man. Hey, how are you? Hey, Delirium. And I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, no, easy. People are like, buddy, great set. We love you. I'm like, I gotta go. So they put me in the car. In the back of Thunderdome, I was in a BMW listening to the whole. In my head, like, what did you do? I'm like, what did you jumped off the stage. What were you thinking? So I think, oh my God, this was definitely not one of my better career decisions. I could tell you the following day or two, I had studio work with Predator. And I remember one day, I was in so much pain. I didn't know what to do. We made up a story that I was going to catch a tram and I was coming up the steps and I fell. And I went to the hospital. They took me to the hospital to see if something was broken. And we explained that I got hurt in the public stairwell. And I didn't have medical insurance in Holland. Maybe somebody would check me out. And I gotta be honest, they treated me very good. They x-rayed me. They treated me amazingly well. Nothing was broken. I had 3 bruised ribs. And I couldn't fly back home. I had to stay in Holland a few weeks and rest. I couldn't smoke marijuana. I couldn't cough. I would have to hold myself for like 3 weeks just to like the ribs. Oh my God. I'll never forget it. I have a small scar still. And I ain't jumping. Never. Nowhere. Ain't jumping. Ain't doing it. They ask me all the time. People call me stage diver for 30 years. Spring-con. Sending me airplane emojis. The Thunderdome video I get tagged in every week. This thing lives on forever. So I'll take it to the grave. I busted my ass, but it was well worth it in the end. It added one more level to people knowing me. I just wish you would have caught me, if I'm honest. All you guys with the eyes. Next time, you catch the guy when he's flying.
Do you really want to dance?
What has been your most memorable performance?
I'd have to be honest, the Thunderdome 96. Hands down. Thunderdome 96 in Leeuwarden. Not only from the stage dive perspective, but it was my first big major booking. So from being nervous to the performance to the whole thing, it was my first time. So I think it'll always be my most memorable. I mean, that one was, you know, if I have to pick one, it's that one. But if I pick some others, the one in Antwerp, the sport hall in Antwerp, I think was 97, was also unreal. Because that venue, you know, you take our crowd to these different venues, you know, it's a combination. It's the music, it's the venue, it's the people. So this magic we're making, you know, some of these venues, I mean, in Italy, in Brescia, Discoteca #1. I mean, this venue, there's just magic right off the bat. Then you add Gabber and the DJs and the dancers. It's our elements, you know?
I was born in New Jersey.
Which track of yours do you consider the best?
My personal favorite is I Was Born Hardcore because of the New Jersey sample.
I was born in New Jersey. I said it before, but I guess nobody heard me. My mother died.
Just everything about that track in New Jersey, that's my like New Jersey anthem. So this track is like in my heart. But when people say that numbers don't lie, I have a bunch of tracks on Spotify. And if I'm honest, the track that's in first place according to the people, it's 𝗵𝗺𝗵𝗆. It's my first one, about to hit 1 million stream. There's only one song that's even competing. If I'm honest, it's Drop the Beat. 𝗵𝗺𝗵𝗆 and Drop the Beat have been doing this like little first place, second place. But 𝗵𝗺𝗵𝗆 has got it by 60,000 streams. So I keep checking to see who hits 1 million. And it's projected for about next month, 𝗵𝗺𝗵𝗆 to hit the 1 million. And Drop the Beat later in the year. So it'll be my first... I don't even know if Spotify does anything. But for me, it's nice to see 1 million streamer. I started with very small numbers. So to see 1 million on a hardcore track, it's very nice. I also look at the countries. And I got to be honest, it's Holland, always in first. Germany's got second. Belgium's got third. And this is a new shocker. France took fourth, and Italy's in fifth. So France is the new popular spot coming up. So thank you, France. And thank you, all countries. Even if you ain't in the top 5. Thank you, too.
For the next question, you can choose everybody. Who would be your dream collab?
Oh, man. I could probably give you a really big list.
Don't make it short.
If I gave you a short list and just threw a couple names, Angerfist, The Player, Nosferatu, Noise Suppressor. I mean, I would definitely go for some of these bigger guys. Their production quality is on a whole nother level. I mean, it's amazing to see some of these productions. With slower stuff, a name I would throw, Radical Redemption. I mean, this guy's kick drums. Oh my God. It's unbelievable. This other guy, Active Rage. Some of the stuff I've been hearing from him is like unbelievable. It's amazing to hear the talent. Like, people are just so good. The levels that they keep going is mesmerizing. I love it. Keep it up.
What is the best record ever made?
One of my personal favorites of all time is Energy Flash. That was just one of the most shook my cage more than any song. But I have weird ones, like Jam On It from the breakdancing era. Hearing the 303 back then is still something that sticks with me in an amazing way. So, yeah, that's really a tough one.
Where can we buy merchandise from Delirium?
Right now, the main spot is 𝗀𝗍𝗍𝗆 Records web shop. You have 3 different t-shirts. You have slip mats. There's also going to be a soccer shirt coming out next month from 𝗀𝗀 Music Store. It's a blue and orange special football jersey. It says, I was born hardcore. It's got a New Jersey patch. It's like a European soccer jersey with a DJ Delirium logo and a, you know, kind of little hardcore twist on it.
I will put the link in the description.
All right.
Breakdown, feel the party.
Is there anything you would like to say to your fans?
I would like to say you guys are the best. I wouldn't be here without you. I have so many fans in different countries, and you guys, I mean, from wearing the t-shirts to sharing my music to commenting on my post. I see the numbers growing. I see more and more of you coming to the shows, and it's so nice. Like, you guys help me with pictures and videos, and I mean, the love I get from the fans is unbelievable. I go to different cities sometimes, and they bring me gifts. They bring me Haribo. I mean, I've been so fortunate to have such a great fan base, and I've been so successful in the last few years again that I've been bringing all these stickers out and trying to get new merchandise, and I want to also give stuff to the fans, like stickers, and I always stay at the event longer, meet more people, and take some pictures, and be more social, and, you know, get to know some of the fans, and, you know, it's super cool because now I'm seeing Italian fans in Holland, and French fans in Holland, and then Dutch fans in France, and I have a closer kind of network with some fans now that some of them, they're more like friends. I mean, we talk on WhatsApp. We talk about each other's pets and families. And I mean, I have met some amazing, amazing fans that are now lifelong friends that are like, you know, and I wouldn't have found them without this music. This music is the base of, I think, me finding friends and style, and it's amazing. It's like a dream come true. Hardcore for life. RaveClassics, what's up?
Yes.
It's your boy, DJ Delirium. Interviewing with 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆. What's up? We live in Amsterdam at 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆 Studios. Yo, what's up? Party people. YouTube. Click the link. Follow 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆. Follow 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆. And I ain't even got a YouTube page.
You need?
Whoopsie. 2025, no YouTube page. But website in the works. But I have socials. Do I just...
Damn it. This was question number 1.
I know.
Oh my fucking god.
Do
It's
I-
the longest fucking answer I've ever heard in my fucking life.
So he don't stop me.
Because
I just telling a story. I don't even know. You gotta cut me off. You gotta jump in. Be like, give me signs like, yo, shut up.
RaveClassic.